The chair under me squealed. The parish hall in Valencia, Spain smelled like burnt coffee and lemon cleaner. Paloma Serrano stood by the pastry table, eyes bright like she was on camera. She pointed at me and said, "You are just jealous. You always have been." Mateo Alvarez looked at me, then at Paloma, then at the pages in my clear folder. His mother, Maribel, sat very still. My mother, Sofia Serrano, kept rubbing her wedding band, like she could scrub this moment away. I did not shout. I did not cry. I just slid the first page out and laid it on my knee so I could read it without shaking. "It's not jealousy," I said. My voice sounded calm even to me. "It's the timeline." Someone in the back inhaled. Someone else's spoon clicked against a paper cup. The coffee urn gave a soft hiss, then went quiet. 2 days earlier, on Monday, the 4th of May 2026, I was in my apartment near the Turia Park, drinking cheap coffee and staring at a gray morning. I am Daniela Serrano, 29, and I schedule crews for Metro Val, the city transit maintenance team. My life is lists, times, and check marks. If a crew is late, trains stop. I trust dates more than moods. Paloma is my older sister. She is 32 and earns money online as a lifestyle creator. She films bright videos about outfits, cafes, and soft life. She lives for applause. If a room does not clap, she will rewrite the story. Mateo is 34. He is an architect who designs clean, modern buildings. He speaks gently, but he does not like tricks. His family is well known in our part of the city. His father, Esteban Alvarez, is a surgeon. His mother, Maribel, runs a charity that funds after-school programs. They are polite, but they watch everything. My phone buzzed on the table. A message from Paloma popped up. "Do not be late today. We have the dress fitting at 5. And please, no weird energy." I stared at the words. No hello. No question about my day. Just a warning. I was supposed to be her maid of honor. Paloma announced it months ago at a family lunch, with a sweet smile. "It has to be Danny," she said, squeezing my hand. "She keeps me grounded." My mother cried and said it was beautiful. My father, Raul Serrano, laughed and said, "Finally, you two act like sisters." Raul is 61 and drives a city bus. He has big hands and a tired back, but his heart is soft. He believes family problems can be fixed with food and time. He does not notice the quiet cuts until he sees blood. I grabbed my work bag and headed out. I had an early shift meeting at the depot near Avenida del Cid. At 8:10 a.m., I scanned my badge at the gate. The reader beeped, "Green light." In my world, that beep is proof. By noon, Paloma's name was everywhere on my phone. She posted stories of white flowers, glittering rings, and a caption that said, "Final week of being a fiancé. Pray for me." Then another story appeared. A screenshot of a message, black text on a white background. "Some people can't stand seeing you happy. Watch out for jealous girls, even in your own family." My stomach tightened. She did not name me. She did not have to. She had already planted the idea. At 2:47 p.m., she called. "Danny, did you send an email to Maribel?" she asked. Her voice was sharp, but she tried to sound sweet. "No," I said. "What email?" She made a small laugh. "Stop. She got a message from your account." "My account?" I repeated. "Yes," Paloma said, like I was slow. "It said you're worried I'm rushing, and that you think I'm making a mistake. It said you only want to protect Mateo. Maribel is upset. Mateo is upset. So tell me the truth." I sat down on the curb outside the depot, my lunch still in my bag. The pavement was warm through my jeans. A train rumbled past in the distance. "I didn't send anything," I said. There was a pause. Then Paloma exhaled hard. "You're doing this because you can't stand that I'm moving on," she said. "You're jealous." The word hit me like a slap, not because it was new, because it was her favorite weapon. "Paloma," I said, "I'm at work. I don't even have my laptop." "You can send email from your phone," she snapped. "Don't play stupid." "I'm not playing anything," I said, trying to keep my voice level. "Show me the email." "I'm not feeding this," she said. "Just fix it. Tell Maribel you were emotional." "I'm not lying," I said. Her tone turned cold. "Then enjoy being alone at my wedding. The call ended. For a full minute, I just sat there and listened to the city. A bus hissed at a stop, someone laughed, a dog barked. Normal life kept moving while my sister was setting my name on fire. At 3:12 p.m., a new notification appeared. Login alert, your email was accessed from a new device. My heart started to pound. I tapped the alert and saw a location, Valencia, Spain. That meant nothing. We were all in Valencia, but the device name did mean something. It was not mine. I called our IT help desk. A man named Sergio answered. He sounded bored until I said, "Someone is in my email." He asked me security questions. Then he said, "There was a login at 2:31 p.m. from a laptop, not your work laptop. It shows as a MacBook." "I don't own a MacBook," I said. Sergio hummed. "Change your password now and set up two-factor if you haven't." "I have it," I said. My voice shook. "It should have blocked them." "It didn't," he said. "Sometimes people get your backup code. Do you share devices?" My mind flashed to yesterday. Paloma had borrowed my phone to take better ring photos because her phone battery was low. She had joked, "You have the boring sister phone. It's always charged." She had held my phone a little too long. I remembered that now. Quick pause. Are you enjoying this story so far? Do you like my channel TrueVenge Chronicles? Please comment yes if you want part 2. Tell me what city and country you are watching from, and hit subscribe so you do not miss the next twist. "No," I said, but it sounded weak even to me. I changed my password. I reset my backup codes. I took screenshots of the alert and the help desk chat for my own record. Then I opened my calendar app and wrote down the times, even though my hands were trembling. At 4:05 p.m., Mateo texted me, "Danny, can we talk?" "My mom got a strange email from your address." I stared at his message. Mateo had never texted me alone before. We were friendly, but he was careful around family drama. The fact that he reached out meant this was bigger than Paloma wanted. I typed back, "Yes. I did not send any email. I am at work. I can prove it." 3 dots appeared, then stopped, then appeared again. "My mom said you warned her about Paloma's past." What does that mean? My throat went dry. Paloma's past. That was a phrase we never said out loud. When Paloma was 23, she took a small loan in my mother's name and called it business. She promised to pay it back fast. She did not. My mother covered it to keep peace. And Paloma cried and begged us never to mention it again. I stared at Mateo's text and felt a slow, cold clarity. Paloma did not just want to blame me. She wanted to control the story before anyone else could speak. I called our IT help desk again and asked for the login history report in writing. Sergio emailed it to me within 10 minutes. The report showed the MacBook login, the time, and the basic device info. I saved it twice. Then I called my mother. She answered on the 3rd ring, breathing hard like she had been crying. "Mama," I said softly, "did Paloma tell you about this email?" She hesitated. She said you were stressed. She said you don't want her to marry into a family that judges us. "That's not what I said," I replied. My mother's voice turned sharp, not at me, but at life. "Danny, please, not now. Your sister is shaking. Mateo is angry. We need peace." "Peace built on a lie is not peace," I said. My mother went quiet. Then she whispered, "Maribel invited us to a meeting on Sunday at their parish hall. She said she wants clarity before the wedding. Sunday, public, witnesses, coffee, folding chairs. The kind of place where nice people watch your face and decide who to believe." "Are you going?" I asked. My mother exhaled. "Yes." "And me?" I asked. Another pause, like a door closing slowly. "Paloma doesn't want you there," my mother said. "She said you will cause a scene." I swallowed. "I will not cause a scene. I will answer questions." My mother started to cry again. "Danny, you don't understand. They think you hate her." I looked at my work schedule on my screen. Times, names, tasks, things that could be proven. "Then I will bring the timeline," I said. That night, I did not go to the dress fitting. I went to my parents' apartment instead. It was on the 4th floor of an older building near Campanar. The elevator smelled like old metal and perfume. My father opened the door. "Danny, you're early," he said, smiling. He was wearing his bus uniform shirt, half tucked. "Come in, your mother is making sopa." When I stepped inside, I saw Paloma's heels by the couch. I froze. Paloma walked out from the kitchen, face full of practiced surprise. "Oh," she said. "You're here." My mother's eyes darted between us like a trapped bird. My father frowned. "What's going on?" he asked. Paloma laughed too loudly. "Nothing. Danny is just moody." I felt my chest tighten. "You used my email," I said, keeping my voice low. Paloma's smile did not move. "I have no idea what you mean." I pulled out my phone and showed her the login alert. The time, the device. She glanced at it and shrugged. "Anybody can fake that." "It's from the security system," I said. She stepped closer. Her voice dropped so only I could hear. "Stop digging," she whispered. "You will ruin everything." "I did not ruin anything," I whispered back. "You did." Her eyes flashed. "You always do this," she said louder, for the room. "You act like the victim because you can't handle that I'm happy." My father stared at us. "Paloma," he warned. Paloma turned to him, tears ready in her eyes like a tap. "Papa, she's jealous," she said. "She wants Mateo to think I'm a bad person. She's been weird since he proposed." My father looked at me. "Danny, is that true?" My mouth opened, but my mother cut in fast. "Enough," she said. "Not tonight, please." That word please did not feel like kindness. It felt like pressure. I looked at my mother and understood something. She was afraid of Paloma's storms. She had been managing them for years by sacrificing whatever was quieter. I turned and walked out. Outside, the air smelled like damp stone and car exhaust. I sat on the curb with my back against the building and tried to breathe. My phone buzzed again. "Unknown number." I answered. "Hello?" "This is Maribel Alvarez," a woman said. Her Spanish was soft and careful, the way people speak when they are choosing each word. "I hope I'm not disturbing you." I stood up slowly. "No," I said. "It's fine." There was a pause. "We received an email from your address," she said. "It suggested you have concerns about my son and Paloma." It also suggested, "You have been excluded because of your behavior." Heat rose in my face. "I did not send any email," I said. "Someone used my account." Maribel's voice stayed calm. "Do you have any proof?" "Yes," I said. The word came out before fear could stop it. "Then please bring it on Sunday," she said. "We are not a family that enjoys drama, but we do value honesty." Mateo values honesty most of all. When the call ended, I stared at my phone until the screen went dark. I drove home and opened my laptop. I pulled up my email login history, my calendar, my work badge scans, my call logs, and my text messages. I did not want revenge. I wanted my name back. I made a simple list, minute by minute, from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. on Monday. I added screenshots. I added the help desk note about the MacBook login at 2:31 p.m. I added the photo Paloma posted at 2:40 p.m., where I could see my own phone in her hand. Shiny case, my small crack at the corner. Then I remembered something else. 2 weeks ago, Paloma asked me to print a file from her laptop. Her notes app was open, and I saw my name with one line under it. "Danny is the problem. Make them see it." At the time, I told myself it was a joke, a dramatic note. Now I knew it was a plan. I printed my timeline at a copy shop near my building. The clerk did not look at the pages. He just stapled them and handed them over. I slid the stack into a clear folder. It felt too light for what it carried. On Saturday evening, my mother texted me, "Please come to the meeting." Say little. Let them move on. I stared at the message. Then I typed back, "I will come. I will say the truth. Nothing more." Sunday morning, May 10, I woke up before my alarm. My stomach was tight. I showered. I dressed in plain black pants and a gray sweater, the kind of outfit that does not ask for attention. I checked the folder 3 times, like it might vanish. Before I left, I opened my work calendar and stared at the row of times. Trains, crews, safety checks, order. I whispered to myself, dates don't lie. Outside the hall, cars were lined up tight. I could hear voices through the door, soft but tense. I held the folder under my arm like it was a shield. In the glass, I saw my own face, pale and steady. I told myself I did not come to fight. I came to stop my name from being used like trash ever again. Then I walked into the parish hall and sat on that metal chair that squealed under me. And when Paloma pointed and called me jealous, I looked at the clock on the wall, heard the ticking, and waited for the first real question. Part 2. Esteban Alvarez stood by the front table with a small notebook in his hand. He was tall, neat, and calm, the kind of man who could say hard things without raising his voice. "We are here for one reason," he said. "We want truth before we plan a wedding." Paloma's smile looked glued on. Mateo sat beside her, but his shoulders were stiff. Maribel, his mother, watched everything. My mother, Sofia Serrano, sat behind Paloma with hands locked together, like she was holding the whole family in place by force. Maribel looked at me. "Daniela," she said, "did you send the email from your account?" "No," I said. "Someone used my account." Paloma let out a small laugh. "Sure." Esteban raised a hand. "Paloma, you will let her answer. Then you will answer." "That is fair." The clock ticked, tick, tick, tick. I opened my clear folder and pulled out the first page. "On Monday, May 4 at 2:31 p.m., I said, "my email was opened from a MacBook. I do not own a MacBook. I was at the Metroval depot. Here is my gate scan." I held up the printout with the company logo and the time. Mateo leaned forward. "That's real?" he asked. "It's automatic," I said. "It cannot be edited by me." I flipped to the next page. At 2:40 p.m., Paloma posted a story. In the corner, you can see my phone in her hand. Same case, same crack. Paloma's cheeks turned pink. "I borrowed her phone," she snapped. "So what?" "So at 2:45 p.m., a backup code was used on my email," I said. "My help desk confirmed it. Here is the chat log with their name and time." A woman near the coffee urn whispered, "Madre mia." Paloma pointed at me. She typed that herself. Esteban's eyes stayed calm. "Did you have Daniela's phone on Sunday, May 3? He asked. Paloma hesitated, then said, "Yes, for photos." I nodded and slid out one more page. "This is a screen recording from my phone," I said. "It shows my backup codes being opened at 1:18 p.m. on May 3. That was while Paloma had my phone." Mateo's face changed. "You opened her security page?" he asked Paloma. Paloma's voice jumped higher. "I didn't open anything. She's trying to make me look bad." Maribel spoke, quiet but firm. "Then who sent the email?" I took a slow breath. "Paloma needed a villain," I said. "She needed someone to blame, so no one would ask questions about her money and her choices." Paloma slapped the chair arm. "There it is," she snapped. "Jealous. Always jealous." Mateo looked at his mother. "Show me the email," he said. Maribel read it from her phone, line by line. It said I was unstable. It said I was being kept away because I caused drama. It said Paloma lies when she feels small. It ended with, "Please protect Mateo." The room went cold. Mateo stared at Paloma. "You wrote that," he said, like he hated the words. "No," Paloma whispered, but her voice broke. Esteban opened his notebook. "We checked the email headers," he said. "The message was sent from an internet address tied to Paloma's apartment router, not Daniela's." Paloma's mouth fell open. "You checked that?" she said. Esteban nodded. "I verify facts for a living." Mateo stood up, hands shaking. "So you used Danny's account," he said, "to send my mother a warning about yourself. Then you blamed Danny and called her jealous." Paloma started to cry. "I was trying to protect us," she said. "Your family judges. They want perfect." Maribel's eyes flashed. "We want honest," she said. My mother finally spoke, a small, broken sound. "Paloma," she begged, "stop." But Paloma kept going, like she could talk her way out of timestamps. "Danny always throws my mistakes in my face," she said. "She wants me to look dirty." I kept my voice low. "I didn't bring your mistakes," I said. "You brought my name." Mateo took a step back. His face went pale. I need air, he said. He walked out. The door closed behind him, and the silence that followed felt heavy and final. Esteban looked around the hall. This meeting is done, he said. We will not plan anything until we understand what is real. People stood and gathered their coats. Chairs scraped, cups crinkled. My mother followed me into the hallway and grabbed my sleeve. Why couldn't you let it go? She whispered. I looked at her hand on my sleeve. Because she used my identity? I said. Because she tried to burn my life to keep her image clean. My mother's eyes filled. She's your sister. And I'm your daughter, I said. Then I pulled my sleeve free and walked out into the cold. As I drove home from the parish hall, I kept hearing that word in my head, jealous. Paloma had used it on me since we were kids. When I got good grades, she said I was jealous of her fun. When I got a small promotion, she said I was jealous of her looks. If I asked a simple question, she called it envy. It was her way of winning without facts. My mother would hush me and say, "Let it go, Danny." My father would shrug and say, "Sisters fight." So I learned to stay quiet and be useful. I planned birthdays, covered chores, fixed Paloma's messes, and told myself it was love. But sitting in that hall, watching her blame me for her own email, I saw the pattern clearly. She did not want a sister. She wanted a mirror that always said she was right. That night, around 9:30, someone knocked on my apartment door. Not a polite knock, a fast, hard one. I already knew it was Paloma. When I opened the door, she pushed in like she still owned my space. Behind her was Leah Rojas, her best friend since college, 31, always dressed like she was about to be photographed. Paloma's eyes were red, but her voice was sharp. "You have to fix this," she said. "Mateo won't answer." My hands shook, but I kept my voice low, like I was teaching again. I kept my hands at my sides. "You used my email," I said. "You fix it." Leah stepped closer. "Just post that it was a misunderstanding," she said. "People will move on." I looked at her. "Move on to the next lie?" I asked. Paloma's voice snapped. "You always hated me. You enjoy this." I shook my head. "I don't enjoy it." "I'm done being your cover story." She pointed at my folder on the table. "Burn that. Delete the recordings," she demanded. "If you keep pushing, I will tell everyone you're obsessed with Mateo." My stomach turned, but I stayed calm. "You can say anything," I told her. "The timestamps won't change." Paloma's face flickered with fear. Then she grabbed Leah's arm and stormed out, heels hitting the hallway like warnings. I locked the door and leaned my forehead against it, shaking from the quiet. By Monday morning, the fallout had teeth. My phone filled with messages from people I barely knew, telling me to stop being bitter. Paloma's online friends had one story, and it was loud. At work, my supervisor called me into his office. His name is Iker Molina, 45, a blunt man with kind eyes who respects people who show up on time. He turned his screen toward me. "We got an email," he said. "It says you're unstable and should not be trusted with schedules." My stomach dropped. "That's her," I said. Iker watched me for a long second. "Do you have proof?" he asked. I didn't plead. I opened my folder. I showed him the login alert, the badge scan, the help desk record, and the meeting invite from Maribel. I showed him the times like I was showing him train delays. Iker nodded slowly. "Your timeline is clean," he said. "And your work has been solid for years. I'm not firing a good worker because someone screams on the internet." Relief hit me so hard I almost shook. Iker leaned forward. "But you need to protect your identity," he added. "Today, at lunch, I went straight to my bank near Plaza del Ayuntamiento. A clerk named Nuria Reyes, early 30s with sharp, calm eyes, pulled up my accounts. Her face changed. "There is a credit card opened in your name 2 months ago," she said. "It has wedding charges." My hands went cold. "I did not open that," I said. Nuria printed a report. April 2 at 9:14 p.m., Bridal Boutique. April 9 at 11:03 a.m. Venue deposit. The email on the application was mine. "Can you freeze it?" I asked. "Yes," she said, "but to remove it fully, you should file a fraud report." I walked out with the paper in my hand, staring at the dates. The timeline was not just about an email, it was about a pattern. Quick pause again. Are you enjoying part 2? What do you think about TrueVenge Chronicles? Please comment what city and country you are watching from, and hit subscribe now so you do not miss the ending. I called my mother. She answered like she had been waiting. "Danny," she said, voice thin, "please don't make this worse. We can pay it. Your father has savings." That sentence landed like a stone. "You would use Papa's savings to cover her again?" I asked. My mother started to cry. "She's falling apart," she whispered. "And I'm the one who has to be fine," I said. "No, not anymore." That evening, my father came to my apartment for the first time in weeks. Raul Serrano, 61, city bus driver, big hands, tired back, soft heart. He stood in my doorway with red eyes and a jaw set tight. "I didn't know," he said. "They kept it from me." I stepped aside and let him in. He sat at my table and stared at the wall clock like it was a witness. "I worked doubles," he said. "So you girls could be safe, and she uses your name like a tool." I swallowed. "What should I do?" I asked. My father's voice did not shake. "File the report," he said. "Not to hurt her. To stop the bleeding." We went the next morning. The police station smelled like paper and old coffee. A young officer named Clara Benitez, 27 with steady eyes and hair in a tight bun, listened while I explained everything in order. Dates, times, screenshots, bank report. When I finished, she nodded once. "Your timeline is clear," she said. "That helps." "Will you contact her?" I asked. "Yes," Clara said. "And you should expect family pressure." I almost laughed. "I already have it," I said. After we filed the report, my father drove me back to the depot before his afternoon route. We sat in his parked bus for a minute, engine off, the city quiet around us. "Your mother will blame you," he said. "Paloma will scream. But this is not your shame." He put one big hand on my shoulder. "A family is supposed to protect the steady ones too," he added. I nodded, throat tight. "I just wanted a normal sister," I admitted. My father stared ahead. "Maybe she learns," he said. "Maybe she doesn't. But you learn to stop paying for her lessons." 2 days later, Mateo texted me. "Can we talk somewhere quiet?" I picked a small diner on Calle de la Pau. Friday at 6. Same booth, warm lights, simple coffee. Mateo arrived looking tired, like he hadn't slept. "I'm sorry," he said before he even sat down. "For what?" I asked. "For believing the easy story first," he said. "For letting her call you jealous." He rubbed his eyes. "She admitted she opened the card," he said. "She said it was temporary. She thought my parents would gift money and she could hide it." My stomach turned. "So she planned to cover stealing from me with your family's gift," I said. Mateo nodded. "Ashamed on her behalf?" "Yes." He took a breath. "The wedding is cancelled," he said, not paused. "Cancelled." I stared at my cup. I did not feel happy. I felt tired. Mateo slid his phone across the table. A message from Paloma sat on the screen. "Tell Danny I'm sorry. I don't know how to fix it." I pushed the phone back. "Sorry doesn't fix credit," I said, soft but firm. "Sorry doesn't give me back trust." Mateo nodded. "I know," he said. He looked at me like he wanted to say something kinder. "You were never jealous," he said. "You were the only honest person in that room." That hurt in a strange way, because it meant my family had not been honest. When I walked home, the air was sharp but clean. I breathed deeper than I had in weeks. In the weeks that followed, I kept my life simple on purpose. I changed every password, I locked down my accounts, I stopped sharing my phone, even with my mother. At work, I made schedules and drank bad coffee and reminded myself that trains run on rules, not on feelings. Some nights I wanted to text Paloma and beg her to be normal. Then I remembered the credit card report and the email headers. I wrote those dates in my calendar again, not to obsess, but to stay clear. When you forget facts, people like Paloma rewrite them. The case moved slowly, the way offices always do. Paloma posted sad videos online. My mother stopped liking them. My father stopped answering Paloma's calls. For the first time, my sister met silence that did not bend. One Sunday, my mother came to my door alone. Her face looked tired, not angry. "Danny," she said, "I'm sorry." I waited, because I was done giving forgiveness for free. "I made you the calm one," she admitted. "I used you to keep the peace. It was wrong." I nodded. "It was," I said. She wiped her cheeks. "I'm going to stop cleaning up for her," she whispered. "Even if she hates me." "That's a start," I said. In July, Nuria called to say the card was closed and the worst charges were being reversed. My name was still mine. My job was still mine. My life felt steady again, not perfect, but real. I put the folder in a drawer, not to hide it, just to rest it. Later, I sat with my father by the Turia garden. He handed me a coffee and said, "You did the right thing." I looked at the path, at people jogging, at kids laughing, at life going forward. Then I said the truth I had earned. The timeline proved I wasn't jealous, I said. It proved I was telling the truth. Life lessons. Lesson 1. Protect your name like you protect your money. Use strong passwords, two-factor, and new backup codes. Do not share your phone when you feel pressured. Keep screenshots of alerts, receipts, and dates. When someone twists a story, your records keep you steady and safe in real life. Lesson 2. Peace is not the same as silence. If you always let it go, you teach people that you are easy to use. Say the truth in simple words and say it early. Calm facts beat loud feelings. Boundaries feel rude at first, then they feel clean and fair. Lesson 3. Choose honest witnesses. When a problem stays private, the loud person controls the story. Bring the timeline to a safe public place, like a meeting with neutral adults, a boss, or a bank. Speak without insults. Let timestamps do the heavy lifting, then walk away with dignity. Your turn. Now I want your opinion. Was Daniela right to show the timeline, freeze the card, and file the report? Or should she have protected the family image? Tell me in the comments where you stand and where you are watching from. Try one lesson this week in your own life. Thank you so much for being here and supporting me. I truly appreciate every like, every comment, and every subscribe. It means more than you know, and it motivates me to keep bringing you stronger, more emotional, and more satisfying stories. If you already subscribed, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Please keep taking an interest in the channel, keep coming back, and keep sharing your thoughts with me in the comments. And if you're watching this channel for the first time, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. Also, make sure you check out a new video on the channel right now. There are more powerful stories waiting for you. Goodbye.